Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. It's Brianna Ray from BriIY here to bring you trying out something I have sort of tried out but not really tried out. This is a really bad introduction. All I'm gonna say is let's get into it. In the past on this channel, I have tried a calligraphy kit from Five Below, and it was very frustrating because it did not contain any instructions. It was not easy enough for me to want to continue using, but I do really like the idea. So as I was scrolling around on TikTok, I actually saw something really cool off of Amazon that I really just couldn't wait to try. And this is what she is. This is a handmade glass pen, or a glass dip pen. I ordered one of these that was supposed to be like a rainbow look, and then it got delayed and I got kind of frustrated because it kept getting delayed, so I ended up scrapping that and ordering a different one in pink because, well, of course I did. Why wouldn't I? And look at how beautiful this is. I did open it up at one point just to kind of steal a peek, but I haven't actually taken it out of the packaging yet. It looks absolutely stunning. The reviews actually looked pretty great on these. A lot of people said that it wrote really well, that it's absolutely beautiful. I can absolutely attest to the fact that it is stunning to look at. The biggest complaint was that on occasion the glass tip was broken. Mine does not appear to be so, which is great for me. So I think we are in the clear to keep going. This only cost me about $10 as well, maybe a little less at the time that I bought it, maybe like $8.99 or something, so about $9. But mine looks really good and looks like it's ready to go. So let's talk a little bit about them. So these glass dip pens do have these ridges on them, and these are the ridges that allow them to hold the ink that we are going to be using. Obviously it does not have like a slanted edge at the top. You can sort of tell it's just a singular tip, one point. So it probably won't be able to make thick and thin lines the way that these like calligraphy pens or fountain pens do. So it is going to be kind of a different experience, but I actually saw someone creating art with these that was sort of like a scribble form where they just kind of kept scribbling until eventually it sort of looked like something, which is something I might try in this video because I thought it looked stunning. And what can I say? I'm a sucker for beautiful art. Here is my paper, nice and open, and I got this Dr. P.H. Martin's Bombay Black India ink. This was the recommended ink that came with it along with the Amazon listing, so I'm hoping that this is the right stuff. The very brief video I did watch on this did clarify that you shouldn't be using calligraphy ink with this because they are different, and being very careful, you are just supposed to dip this in. I've seen someone dip it all the way up to this like neck portion, I guess. I'm not gonna do that. That seems like too much. I feel like I would only really want to fill it up here where the grooves are so that it can collect the ink. This doesn't make any sense. So that is what I will be doing. So I'm just gonna dip it in. I'm not gonna dip it all the way, I don't think. Just enough to kind of test it out. I also don't know if I'm supposed to like scrape it or shake it off or anything, but here's what she looks like covered in ink. And now for the line test. Okay, that's kind of fun. So it said in the video that I watched that it does have to be drawn on an angle. Drawing up and down will not give you good lines, as you can see there. You do have to kind of draw them on an angle to create anything. So I am just keeping it angled. I'm kind of rotating it. Some places, like this one, for some reason doesn't have any ink in it, but if you keep rotating, you'll get back to the ink. Those lines are very, very tiny, but I think they kind of explain pretty well how this works. And it does actually write very smoothly. I'm very impressed with the like uniformity of these lines and how consistently black they are. That's really great. Every so often, you'll just need to dip it back in to get more ink as it slowly kind of dries out. And that is the basics of this super, frankly, kind of simple to use pen. I will say one thing that I've already kind of picked up on is I throw my pens and pencils a lot more than I think about. Like I kind of drop them from a distance, and I'm being very cognizant to not drop this since it is glass. So I don't know, just something to maybe keep in mind. But I'm gonna switch over to hyperlapse and see what this looks like. All right, so this is kind of important, but it kind of just stopped writing. And I know there's ink in there. I just dank it in. I don't even know if that's. So this is a really big contrast to like the experience I just had. I cannot fathom why it wouldn't be working anymore. Okay, so I got some lines back. I don't know why it wouldn't continue to work. Right, I guess it might be time to do some of this action and wipe off the pen tip. I did find a great video that seemed to have some suggestions. I hope I didn't waste all that ink for nothing. It's kind of frustrating. It said that there could be a couple things wrong with it. One would be a chip, which would be very frustrating given that we are on, you know, the first use of the pen ever. But I don't know, maybe there is. Maybe I went a little too hard somehow. The video I just checked also said I can use water, like just plain water, to see if the tip is flowing, which is interesting. I want to see if that's true. Yeah, I mean, I can see a little bit of the ink come out. It's very difficult to clean. I'm wondering if like the fact that these, like this isn't coming off is a problem. I don't know. I'm going to dip again and see how it goes. Oh yeah, it came back. Maybe I just needed to clean it off a little bit more. Interesting. I actually also wonder if maybe like the water is kind of making the ink a little bit smoother and flowing a little bit easier, because it seems a little bit darker than even that first run of it was. Wow, that's ugly. This is kind of what I meant by like the scribble form drawing though. Like you can see it's kind of like lips, but it's all scribbly. I don't know. I think I'm gonna actually flip this over and we're gonna try again on a different page because this is gross. Let's see how, it actually dried pretty quickly. It smudged a little, but I'm actually impressed with how quickly that dried. Turns out I have no concept of anatomy if I don't write my reference lines. We're gonna try one more and hope that it's not ugly. So honestly, this just kind of reminded me how sometimes when things are looking good, you should just stop. More does not necessarily mean better. I wish I would have stopped at the eyes, nose, and lip situation. It would have looked abstract. Now it just looks bad. I know that there's a specific term for this particular kind of art style. I just don't know what it is. If you do, drop it in the comments, because I probably will forget again. It's scribble something, but I do like it a lot. I think it requires a gross amount of talent that I just don't foresee myself having anytime soon. I'm so used to, you know, sketching things out with pencil first and going over with the pen later. This is all pen. There's no mistakes. If you make a mistake, you're screwed. I don't know, but I think, practically speaking, this is stunning. I can't quite get all the crusty bits off. I tried soaking it in some hot water, and this is about as good as I was able to get it. So if anyone has any tips on cleaning these as well, be sure to let me know. I really like this, like aesthetically speaking. I feel like the experience of using it is really cool, and I feel like I'm a little bit more precise with my motions when I'm doing this. Honestly, I feel like practically speaking, this would make a really awesome like fine liner for artists, like to go back over and do your line work once your work is done. The ink dries down really well. It doesn't bleed or anything. I just think it's a really great, I feel like this is a great like mixed media thing to incorporate in artworks that I'm already doing. I don't know if this exactly is the art style for me. Maybe I'll keep kind of testing it out and practicing it and seeing where it goes. I'm too much of a perfectionist to deal with something like this, and like I know, like I was like, oh well, the scribbles will hide the imperfections. Well yeah, but then the scribbles have to be in the right place. It's just, I feel like it's an art form that is really underappreciated. So if you ever see anyone using one of these or doing this style of artwork, please give them a like or a shout out, especially if it's good, because this is something that takes some serious talent to do. I think that's really all I have to say on this. I really like this pen. I think it went really well. I'm gonna leave a link to it in the description box below if you want one, as well as the India ink. I think altogether, like to start off this hobby with a simple black ink and pen is probably gonna cost you like a little under 20 bucks. So if this is something that you wanted to test out, or something that you would just like to use as like a fine liner, or just because you think it's pretty, which is frankly the reason that I wanted to go for it, definitely do. I think it's just beautiful and a really cool, like, I don't want to say forgotten, but really uncommon art style that I think we should be promoting a little bit more. So with all that said, thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw, feel free to like and subscribe. I do put out new videos every Sunday at noon Eastern Standard Time, and I would love for you to be here for the next one. Thanks again so much, and I hope to see you then. Bye!